Hi guys, this is Spirit Guided Marriage. Marriage is not a human concept, but it is God's idea. We need a biblical principle for a permanent and long-lasting relationship. Are you ready to save, to improve, or to strengthen your marriage? Watch a new series of our program every Monday at 7 p.m. UK time. And remember, it's not about who is wrong, but it's about what is wrong. Thank you and remain blessed.
Hi, welcome. This is Spirit Guided Marriage. You are welcome. We'd love to have you today, and then it's a great joy for us to be at your home. Last time we were speaking about a topic. All these days we are talking about communication, how important communication is in a relationship, because that comes deep down your heart. We spoke about communication. We spoke about the power of the tongue, how it can destroy you, and we also spoke about last time. We did speak about that men are moved by what they see, where women are moved by what they hear. But today, we will speak about the topic for today is every good marriage is made from good words. Simple. Every good marriage is made from good words. In other words, if you are having good words in relationship, good communication, that will sustain your marriage and make it last long. And we all want to ask a few questions. Do you remember the first day you spoke to your spouse since day one when you met? I remember there were very interesting words when you saw her or when you saw him for the first time during date. You probably told him or told her, I like your hair, I like your arms, I like your hairstyle, I like the way you walk, I like your figure. All these good words that we use since day one, these are the words that made you attract. These are the words that made you remain in a relationship with your spouse. But my question is, are you using the same words today? Are you using the same words today? Are you saying the same words you spoke to your spouse? Are you using them today? Because these are the words that allowed you to win your spouse in a relationship. You got to keep the same words regardless of the ups and downs. You got to keep the same words in order to sustain your marriage.
I think last time as well we spoke the same thing about the words, that words can either build or words can either destroy. So like, we just said now, what words are you using with your spouse? What words are you telling each other? Are you telling them positive words or are you telling them negative words? Because those words will build up your marriage. Whatever you say will either build your marriage or destroy your marriage. But are you using the same words that you used when you met the first time?
Day one. Again, I'm giving an example when you used to tell her, can you imagine telling your wife the first day, oh, I like your figure, I like the way you look. Whatever your wife had, it was beautiful, it was spotless. Now, can you imagine you now speaking to your wife, say, let's say, example, day one, you meet a woman or a man. I'm just going to speak of a woman. You meet a woman the first day, and then you say, oh, you are really fat. I want to go out with you tomorrow for a date. Will that woman accept you back? I don't think she's going to accept what you're saying, because your words will not even initiate or keep a relationship. When you use great words, you got to use the same powerful words before you speak to your wife.
I think the words really, they're very, very important what we say. If you take a simple example, even for school, if you talk about school, a child who goes to school, whatever the age they are, what the teacher tells the child. If the teacher tells the child positive things, that you are clever, you are doing well, you're going to make it in life, you're going to go to university, that child is going to believe that, and she's going to make it, But if the teacher tells the child, you are so stupid, you can't make it, I think math is very difficult for you, the child won't make it, because she received those words, So the words can take us really far in life. Even your friends, you've got a friends, you say negative things about your friends, the minute they hear what you said about them, the relationship will break,
Absolutely.
So we say nice things about your friends, your child, even your own child. Whatever you tell them, they'll grow with that. You say, mommy told me this, daddy told me this, that I'm very stupid, I can't make it to school. So words are powerful,
Yes,
so when you talk about the marriage as well, your husband, your wife, words are very important
Very
in what we
important.
tell each other.
Absolutely. We can say that Uh, Verbal abuse, it is not difficult, it's not easy to heal than someone who's been physically abused. Somebody who's been physically abused, you can bandage the wound, you can repair, you can make some, tablet medications, whatever, to dress the wound. But somebody who is mentally abused, verbally abused, it is very hard. That's why you find in a relationship, women or men don't talk anymore because they are verbally dead, they are mentally dead. They have already been affected because of the words you are using for your spouse. Even if she gains weight, even if she's unintelligent, even if she's whatever, or he is whatever he is, use the words you use for day one in order to sustain a relationship. How about this man, Solomon, the wisest man on earth? He had about how many wives again? Do you remember?
I don't know, thousand, whatever.
Yeah, 700 plus 300 girlfriend, over 1,000 wives. I would call it that way. But you know what he says in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 23? He says, "Intelligent people think before they speak." Before you meet your wife on a date, you thought of the words to say. You thought of what to dress. You thought of how to do your hairstyle. You thought of what lotion or what perfume to put. Why don't you think when you speak to her now or when you speak to him now? Because your words can either verbally abuse her or abuse him.
And I think as well is when argument comes in marriage or there's any disagreement, I think, because we are very so angry, we don't think before we say things, and we sometimes it's hard to repair what you have said to, to either your spouse or your husband, because you said something out of anger, and you can't turn the words around, So we have to be careful sometimes to be able to control our temper or to control our anger, that we need to think first before you can say things, because when we're angry, when things is everyone in the house and everyone can't listen to each other, we say things that we can never repair, and we hurt each other so much.
I like to give this example. That's a good example. I like to give this example. The first day I met my wife, she's from South Africa, but the first day I met her, the words that I learned her language. The first word in her language I learned was this one, which says, Joyce Kimpo. It's Wahumujibu, which means Joyce is a gift from God. Because of that words I used, and I'm using the same words, the words are changing her, are making her to be a real gift from God, because the words are penetrating her. They have power. They are changing her all the time.
That's true.
And another exception.
I think just to add on that in my conclusion, really to say, somewhere in the Bible as well, there was an officer who had a servant, and his servant was very, very sick, and as he was walking around the city, he met with Jesus, and he told Jesus to say, what, my servant is very, very ill. Are you able to come and heal him? And Jesus said, okay, I'm going to come with you. But the officer told the Jesus to say, no, don't come to my house, Jesus. If you can just say the words, my servant will be healed. So just to show that how powerful the words are,
Yes.
The words are very important, think about it, in my house, and I did that today. Funny thing, I did test that today, so I was in the house. I was just here downstairs, and I called my daughter upstairs, and I was like, I did just a test, I said, Nikana, come here. And she came down, but just me calling her and say, come, just me opening my mouth and just say those words, come, and she came downstairs, It's the same thing with our spouse in the house, how we talk to each other, how we call each other, how we, even to say, can you come, just those words, and depending how they come out as well, because sometimes we still say come, but in which manner do you say that, or you can call your husband's name, but in which way do you call him? Is it David? How do you do it? Because sometimes
spice the name up.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Dave or Davey or something?
Yeah, but not David. What David?
Somewhere
those silly things. So we just need to be, have that love and passion how we call our husband or how we call our wives.
I was gonna mention a little story. It's like a proverb or a parable. There was a bird who had cheese in his mouth. Those colorful birds, purple feathers and blue feathers and red. So the bird had a cheese in his mouth. Now there was a hyena on the ground floor, on the floor. He wanted to have the cheese from the bird's mouth. So he asked the cheese from the bird, but the bird couldn't give him. So what hyena did, he started praising using nice, sweet words. He said, "You are a lovely bird. You are a great bird. Look at your feathers. You are beautiful. I've never seen a bird like you." By the hyena saying those words to the bird who had cheese in their mouth, the bird had no option than to smile. When the bird smiled, the cheese fell off his mouth. So what am I saying here is that the words used from the hyena, the praise used from the hyena, he got the cheese from the bird. So same thing to your spouse. The good words you use, the nice words, you will get cheese from your spouse. You will get all that thing you desire because of the words that you're using. Even the book of Matthew 12:34, it says this, "For whatever is in your heart, determine what you say." Whatever is in your heart. If your heart is polluted, if your heart is losing love towards your spouse, you will not say positive words. You will say words which will be hurting, which will be affecting the other spouse. So you need to control what you say. Please remember, every good marriage is made from good words. Keep the words up, you keep your marriage up. I think that's all I need to say today.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening. And hopefully, if you've got any questions or for anything to suggest or to say or comment, we are able to, accept any comments or any additions, anything, you can say. Yeah, but thank you very much
and
for
just
watching.
Be aware, this is spirit-guided marriage. We believe a good marriage is not the way you do things. It's the way you treat your wife, the way you love your wife, the way you care for your wife or your spouse. That is called a good marriage. It's not measured by wealth or money.
And remember, it's not about who is wrong, and it's about what is right.
Okay, great. Thank you.